on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and all those other good joints. It's Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense. And I hope to do just that today. Now, if this is your first time joining my show, let me know. You can do that also by hitting that like button and sharing my videos and letting everybody know that you like what you hear and all that good stuff. Because, YouTube is not my friend. They just tolerate me. Now, I like to see if I can see you all chatting and let me know that you're there and you can hear me. Check one, check one. Breaker, breaker, 1, 2. Yeah, my eyes are getting bad, y'all. I don't know what's going on. So, yeah, I'm having some hard time seeing nowadays. Yeah, everything's blurry. Everything's blurry. Could be allergies. Could be some dust particles. Could be the drywall that I work with every day. Who knows? Could be the man beaming some light waves into the house. All right, there's another conservative. Let's unleash our diabolical, our hidden weapon. He can't talk if he can't see. Yeah, there it is. So anyway, people are checking in from Cincinnati. Loud and clear. Good, 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 good. All right, now, with that being said, let me wipe my eyes here. Oh boy. Let's see here. Let's get it all out. Got to get the... Yeah. Okay, now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started because we got some stuff to talk about today. Oh, yeah, drop that beat. I rock the plan. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some teams in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Now, if this is your first time joining the show, I encourage you to just sit back and relax. Listen to the 8-track. Dig me like an old soul record. That's what I want you to do. Feel free to chat. Let me know where you're at, where you're from, all of that stuff. And if you are someone who have checked out the show for a long time, you know the system. First of all, you already know I got a corner store, baby. You can go in there and shop till your heart drops. Also, this number 330-974-4607. If you text MAGA to that number, just in case they unexist me here, I can send out a text and let y'all know, all right, they got me tied up in the dungeon. Y'all gotta come get me. Here they come. Here they come. Yeah, stuff like that. And then I also have a monthly fundraising link right below this video if you want to support the channel through any types of donations to that. And for all I care, you can write it off for taxes. I don't know. And then finally, let's see, did I miss anything? Subscribe to my alternative channel, which is Stop and Think About It. You can find me also on Rumble, and you can follow me on all the other social media platforms. That would be great. Now, let's get into what we're going to be talking about tonight, y'all. Crazies, creepies, and clowns. Yeah, that don't sound good. All of that right there scares me. Sounds like a scary movie. Yeah, crazies, creepies, and clowns. There we go. So, of course, you could probably guess some of the stuff I'm going to be talking about based on the terminology that I use in my thumbnail. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and check out what's going on in Crazy Town. Doom-doo-doo. Won't you take me to doom-doo-doo. Crazy Town. Doom-doo-doo. Won't you take me to doom-doo-doo. Crazy Town. Let's go and check out what's going on. It's crazy time, y'all. Guys, I watched a clip today while I was riding around on a man truck, and I was listening to a guy that was in a debate with Jordan Peterson. And as I listened to this man, I said, this man's crazy. They done messed around and gave a gun to a baby. See, when you give degrees to people that's this crazy and this socially immature, this far out in their thinking, it's like giving a loaded weapon to a baby. The baby's brain isn't developed. They can't comprehend. They can't put abstract thoughts together. That all of this stuff, they're not in touch with reality. They don't understand the consequences if they accidentally play with the gun and somebody gets it. They don't understand that stuff. Yeah, just like these people that get academic degrees and come out and say crazy stuff like what you're about to hear. Unbelievable. Crazy
The issue of
town.
so-called non-traditional pronouns goes together with non-traditional gender identities. New York City, for example, recognizes 31 such gender expressions. In other words, besides man and woman, there are 29 other.
See? Now, first of all, I'm not saying everybody in New York is crazy, but if you in crazy town, you might want to start reconsidering relocating, because for this state to recognize this, that means there are people that are crazy enough to implement this stuff. Unbelievable. Now, recognizing it is one thing, okay? But here's the problem with crazy stuff. When you recognize it based on the government implementing some type of whatever, it's only a matter of time before it's forced upon you. Or before they can force it upon you, what they do is they tenderize you by demonizing you. See, you want to tenderize and demonize. Basically, what that's saying is if you call this crazy, then they attack you and make you look like you're intolerant, and you know what, you're a fascist, and you know what, you're insensitive, and all of this stuff. And I thought I was just sane. That's all. I was thinking everybody should jump on board with the sanity when we hear about stuff like this. But I'm shocked that I'm in a city where there's enough people that will be okay with this. But let's hear it. Let's see if we can figure out all like 30 something of these pronouns.
Gender expressions. For example, pangender, queer gender, gender fluid, cross-dresser, bigendered, gender blender, and the list goes on.
Man, I can't keep all that in my head. All jumbled up in there. I don't know what to call you. You got to be kidding me. See, this is what happened when you release the floodgates of crazy town. Nobody has a governor. If you sit back and say, you know what, kids, let your imagination run free. And guess what? Whatever you believe in your imagination is true and real, and we will support it. Do you think kids would have a limit? You think kids would stay within reality? Yeah, they're designed to imagine, to explore outside of reality. So they'll be talking about, I think I want to climb this building and fly. Give me a cape. Now you got to be the bad guy. And come in and say, hey, look, man. Now, look, I know you're only 5 and you watch a lot of superhero movies, but come here. I got to give you some tough love. Humans can't fly. What? But you told me if I just wanted to and it was my truth. I know what I told you, man. But humans can't fly. See, this is where you put these people into this position where they say, well, heck, the floodgates are open. I'm going to come up with all kind of genders. Now, none of these people stop to think how this could get out of control. I mean, do you expect society to sit back and try to memorize and familiarize themselves with all of these different crazy made up genders that every single day you done open up the floodgates for somebody to come up with a new one? I mean, you think everybody got time to be tiptoeing through the tulips around folks that you guys have made think that they're entitled and get mad? See, it ain't one of them things where they're like, oh, so, you know what, excuse me. Yeah, I would prefer to be. No, it's like, what did you call me? I'm a Zer, not a Z. Huh? Yeah, stuff like that. I'm a Z, not a Zer. Yeah, so let's hear some of these other ones because we got pansgender, panda bears, you know what? Here we go. Let's see.
And Nicholas, this is where I want to bring you into the discussion because you teach this. You teach trans studies. So
what's that? What's that? When did they come up with this in college? Get your kids out of college right now. Go get yourself a couple of goons. And when your kids walk into class with his backpack home, let the goons roll up in a van, jump out, throw a sack on his head, drag him into the van, and snatch him back to the crib. He think he being kidnapped. Take the hood off of you standing in front of him. How you doing, son? Had to get you out of there. Well, you could have just called Dad. No, I wanted to be dramatic. I wanted it to leave an impression on you. Okay? I want you to be scared before you ever step on a college campus again. They're trying to brainwash you, kid. They're trying to brainwash you. Yeah, so, yeah, this guy's teaching gender studies, transformer studies. Here we go. So let's hear this guy with some degrees and some letters before his name, because he's definitely a professional. Okay, so let's hear this professional man's craziness.
If you would, give us a brief primer on so many gender identities that, in your view, require non-traditional pronouns.
Basically, it's not correct.
Okay, see, now here we go. Off grid. This is what I mean, a baby with a gun. Starting off with no bass in the voice. He got the baby voice. Baby voice. You got the cutest little baby voice. Basically, talking out the nostrils. Basically, their eyes actually. Now, we already know. Boy, I tell you, man, these crazy professionals, which are still really crazy people that got just enough, study habits to pass some tests and all of that stuff to unleash their craziness into society and cloak it under, I'm a professional and I got a PhD. See, that's all it is. Somebody that let craziness slide into society and be respected by other crazy people. Because that's the only people who respect in this. Soon as you tell me I'm a professor in transgender studies, I'm going, what's that? Is that even a thing? See, I mean, if you really get down to it and you want to be 100% cut and dry, black and white, there's no such thing as a transgender. So you might as well be studying leprechaun. I'm a professor in leprechaunology. I'm a professor in voodooism. I'm a professor in magical things that we make up in our mind. That's all it is, man. But folks get so passionate about this. Oh, you telling me transgenders don't exist? Well, no, transgenders don't exist, but humans do, and you're one of those. You're either male or female, and I'm not going to sit back and pat you and tell you they're there. And I recognize this new category of humans called transgenders. But this guy is a professional in it. He's a professional in it. So let's hear his professional craziness.
There is such a thing as biological sex, and I'm a historian of medicine. I can unpack that for you at great length if you want.
A studier of medicine. Does that mean you're a doctor? I mean, I'm a studier of medicine. I thought you were a transgenderologist or something like that. But basically, you done went and read some stuff about medicine, some stuff that very obvious people with an agenda has ginned up, no different than climate change. They come up with this stuff to use that to manipulate society. That's all it is. They get some people with PhDs or some people who everybody say, well, you have to respect the scientists, but they're propagandists. They're compromised. They've been co-opted. They have now become activists, or they just sold out for money. One of the two. But what they do is they write it up just like the evil people want them to. And that's designed to convince the bubbleheads and add legitimacy to the craziness. You don't want to legitimize crazy. See, that's my thing. You don't want to legitimize it, man. But we got politicians that are out there legitimizing crazy. So now here he is talking about, I studied medicine. What does that mean? What does that mean? I can say I studied medicine too. So here we go. He's going to tell us about it and all that stuff.
But in the interest of time, I won't. So that's a very popular misconception. So essentially, when in my transgender studies classes, what we're doing is looking at actual research and identifying ways that current social issues related to trans people or things that are associated with trans, such as free speech arguments and claims, how that connects to the way that people are thinking, the way that research has been framed, the histories.
Give us some of the other pronouns that one would hear.
Yeah, give us some of those. One of the 15 gazillion pronouns that one might hear. See if your grandfather remember all of those. Or what did you say your pronoun? Wait a minute, you're a trick. You know what? You're crazy. That's what it will come down to. Good luck. Going into society and trying to push this into society as a whole. There's a reason why this mess is getting resisted and not catching on. Because the majority of people go, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to be sitting back conscious. People will just simply avoid you. If you become that sensitive person, and if people say, oh God, I don't even want to go up and talk to him, I might slip up and mention, excuse me, sir. After a while, folks that still are hanging on to common sense and not indulging this, they will say, man, I don't even want to talk to this person. They're crazy. Yeah. I mean, they used to be saying, but at some point they done went ahead and took a bite of the crazy pill. And now, if I slip up and don't recognize one of their 18 genders, then I'm a xenophobe, or I'm a homophobe, or I'm a transphobe, or I'm a whatever phobe. So this guy's sitting here about to break this mess down to everybody, I guess, with his mismatched tie and shirt, and I don't know who dressed him. That's what happens when you give babies guns. See? Yeah, you give babies PhDs, and now he can't even dress himself properly. How about you work on matching? Dang on it. Where you get that purple tie? Everything else is black with the dang on picnic colors on your shirt and a big fat purple tie for Barney. So now he's about to explain to us, y'all, his philosophy on transgenderism.
Quickly. I don't focus on pronouns because pronouns are actually part of a cisnormative culture. So what
was that? Man, I would love to be in the minds of this guy who's doing this facilitating this debate. I know he probably like, these folks are back crazy. But hey, I'm getting paid. Would you explain to us more what does cis normative mean? In his head, he's probably like, they're crazy. Same thing with all of these Democrats who get up there and support this crap. You don't think they go home and be like, man, I was up in Congress today and they had a woman up there talking about some men and women don't have any biological differences and it's all about letting them participate in sports. And what do you mean when you say a woman? Honey, it was ridiculous. I was cracking up on the inside, but lying on the outside. That's what was happening. I was cracking up on the inside and dropping lies, man. All over the place. This right here is, these Republicans over here are white national, they're intolerant. It's all about the people's feelings and stuff. And get home and be cracking up at the table. Oh boy, I know I would, man. I would love to just be in that dude's head right here who's asking these questions. Watch this.
What we do is learn about...
Well, I'm going to stop you right there.
Yeah, I was just about to explain. Good. So we don't start from a cisnormative perspective because that can't actually go very far.
What does cisnormative mean?
So I'm going to start us there. Cisnormative is basically the...
Basically, I'm crazy and I'm making up new terms so I can control speech and push a crazy agenda down everybody's throat. And it's supported by politicians and they're trying to legislate this stuff into existence. That's what that really means because there's no such thing as no cisgender and cisnormative.
That's what it really comes down to. Whatever happened to men and women? Boys and girls. Boys and girls. But not this guy. He's coming up with cisnormative and stuff like. I wish somebody would call me a cisnormative person. He's a cis man. No, you're a cis man. That's what you're telling me? Huh? You want to put cis in front of me? I'm going to put it in front of you. How about that? Let's continue.
Very popular idea and assumption that most people probably have, and definitely that our structures convey, that there is such a thing as male and female.
Very popular, idea that most people
that are sane, most people that got common sense, most people who've been observing basic biology since the day they were able to even recognize, I got an apple stem down here. What is this thing? Well, honey, that means you're a little boy. I was wondering, why don't my sister have one? Because she's a little girl. There you go. And at some point, you can't be taking baths or showers together. There you go. Yeah, kids don't even recognize that until they get a certain age. Then it's all of a sudden like, wait a minute. Yeah, I had a little friend that I played with in my neighborhood named Michelle next door. We played like just two little kids, just totally oblivious to sex and all that stuff, having leaf fights, mud fights, all that stuff. And then one day, nobody had to tell me, you know what, you're developing to a cis man. You're developing. One day, I'm like, hey, Michelle she don't quite look just like my friend at this point. What you got going there, Michelle? Yeah, that's when people had to start monitoring our behavior. Yeah, it just happened naturally. I wonder what did that. See, this guy right here.
What most people would normally recognize as
if most people are wrong. Do you understand the level of arrogance, of entitlement, of narcissism that this human right here has, where he is saying that the majority of the world recognizes there are two genders, and he's belittling their intelligence. It's wrong. I'm right. Compared to centuries of history, biology, common sense, and the rest of the world going, you know you crazy, right? But he's going to take it right now. He's fighting against everybody. He's 300. He's like, yeah, I'm going to stand and fight everybody on this one.
That they connect to being a girl or a boy or a man or a woman. And then sometimes that will also recognize intersex or trans people or transsexual people.
What's that?
Because that's sometimes also referred to as a gender binary. So anything that fits with.
Holy mo! I wouldn't even try to learn this crap. How did we get here? How did we get soon and very soon? We are going to see the king. I say soon and got to be. Right now I'm looking up. Man, how did this craziness drop on the planet in the last 10 years or so to where it's become somewhat acceptable in certain areas? Now, of course, they ain't gonna go into real people's neighborhoods and start asking them about this stuff. They want to make it appear that this is widely accepted, so they blast this on TV. They will capture somebody being insensitive and parade them around. They would do all of these things to just, yeah. So what? Okay, wait. Am I buffering? Somebody said something about buffering. I caught the tail end of that message. But yeah, they will make it appear that this is widely accepted. And you got the problem. See, if you're sitting in your crib by yourself and you're watching this, and then you see all of them that pretty much think the same, and then you got one person, Peterson up there, he's fighting, and all the rest of them are going, you know what, you're a xenophobe, you're a homophobe, you're whatever. It might trick your mind into thinking that this is the mainstream view. I guess I need to get on board. You go, no, man, you know what? Well, I don't want to be viewed as that guy. Where they're saying you're insensitive, you're intolerant, all of these things. This is how they do the psych op on people when it comes down to shoving this stuff into our society. It's, interesting how they do it. It's gaslighting, man. Make you think everybody sees it our way. You're the only one that aren't able to see it. And then you will get some people that start really considering this mess. Really considering it. Here you are, 35. All of a sudden you get hold to a couple liberal ideas. And now, science has changed. You never can, tell things have changed. We're evolving as humans. Are we evolving for the better or the worse? Because when you start saying, I can't recognize what animals recognize, then you're going to be on them. You're going backwards. You're right at this point. The monkeys are going to be like, where's he going? Where's he going? Where's he going? He's going backwards. After a while, the snails are going to be like, look at these dummies. You see the dummies over here? Hey, sweetie, come here. They don't even recognize the difference between male snails and female snails. These organisms over here, I tell you. We done blew past the crazy folks. Snails. So now let's finish hearing this crazy professor, this nutty professor.
Within a gender binary can work within cisnormativity. Okay. But cisnormativity is basically that everyone assumes that there is male and female, and so very little is actually.
Everyone assumes that it's male and female. How did this guy? Where do you go to get this degree? I mean, do you understand what college has actually put the time and energy into having a class that help you become a professor in this nonsense? You might as well be a professor in craziology. I'm a craziologist. I study the art of craziness, and then I try to convince others to become crazy. That's my whole job. I studied the art of manipulation, and I also fantasize and convince myself that everybody else has the problem, not me. So now, the crazy man is comparing this very small group of crazy people to the rest of sane society. Even liberals, many liberals, I would go so far as to say the majority of liberals still hang on to that part of sanity. I'm pretty sure I could go into some areas where folks would say, man, I'm okay with open borders. I'm okay with whatever, this and this and that. Yes, defund the police. Well, do you think men can become women? No. I'm pretty sure you'll find a whole heap of liberals that will still go, now see, that's too far. But this guy, everybody else got the problem, not him. He's educating us, y'all. That's why he's a professor in this. He's educating us. He's going to go ahead and change all of society. Oh, the results of Super Tuesday is rolling in. Almost forget. I can't wait to see them black eyes that's going to get given to Nasty Nikki. So now, let's go ahead and go back in time, y'all, to see what crazy would look like if this was the 90s. Y'all remember the 90s? Y'all remember the 90s before craziness kicked in? Let's see what craziness would look like.
To understand what's actually the case. And scientists have been doing this for
Because
at least over 50 years.
your view would be it's much more complicated than that.
No, it's not.
Right, it's not my view. I just know that for over 50 years, scientists have shown that that's not true, and yet our...
What quacks did you find? What pseudoscientists did you find? Did they get their PhD in transgender studies too? See, but
It's not my opinion. It's a fact. The scientists are fact.
I would love to see that data. Boy, I tell you. So, like I said, guys, we're living in crazy times. Very, very crazy times. Let's go ahead and teleport back to, say, the 90s and see what crazy would look like. Let's just say in a normal interaction, if you teleported one of these crazy people back to the 90s at Blockbuster, how would it go?
Social systems haven't been able to find a way to address the level of complexity that people actually experience.
Yeah, there it is. Social system have not been able to catch up with the craziness. Yeah. So let's go back, y'all. How would it look like for a regular white man to go to Blockbusters if one of these crazy folks was factored in?
Imagine it's the 90s and you go to the video store. They have a big poster on the front door that reads, "Have you checked your white privilege today?" You go inside and you see that the categories have changed. Now they have a trans inclusion section.
What's that?
You figure it was supposed to read trains inclusion, as in movies with trains in them, like Schindler's List. But there was a printing error and it's missing the letter I. Anyway.
Yeah, that would be your assumption. That would be your assumption. If I would have went to the Blockbusters back then and I saw trans, I'd have been like, trans, Zorro, Express. Yeah, come on, y'all. Trans, Zorro. They'd be like, no,
That's not what we're talking about. You're trans insensitive. We're talking about transgenders.
Transformers? When is that coming out? Can't wait to see it. I love that cartoon.
No, you know what?
Let's continue, though.
You ignore it because you don't care about trains, although you did see Train Spotting and thought it was a good movie. As you approach the counter, you see a poster encouraging you to vote Democrat with the slogan, "White is over." You're not sure what this means, but maybe it's referring to an upcoming sci-fi movie in which the color white has been outlawed.
Yeah, because see, this was before all the craziness kicked in. This is before they let everybody out the asylum. See, you would be trying to justify all of this stuff in your head. Like, okay, well, maybe this is a movie. Because surely, imagine, you would not imagine. I'm just thinking back in my mind in the 90s. I could not have fathomed how crazy things are now. All of this stuff, if you teleported it back then, I would be trying to make sense of it. I would be going, okay, this has got to be a new movie coming out. I mean, you got to be kidding me. But nope. This is funny. Watch it.
Sounds pretty cool. You make a mental note to check that one out when it's released. You approach the counter and a very overweight, angry-looking young woman with a t-shirt displaying a burning American flag stares at you as if she's trying to stab you with her eyes. Oh. Hey, anybody can have a bad day, you think, and cheerfully walk up to the counter. The following interaction ensues. "Hi, I was wondering if you could recommend a good family movie. My kids have been pestering me to get some new movies, and my wife..."
Have you ever considered your part in the legacy of slavery?
A Legacy of Slavery? Is that a movie name? I'm not really looking for...
And this cis-white heteronormative patriarchal nuclear family bullshit, it f***ing disgusts me that they even make movies for that.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like my kind of movie. So the family movie.
Your male whiteness is like a cancer in the air that suffocates all bodies of color that are forced to interact with it.
I'm just gonna browse the family section. I'll let you know.
The nuclear family is a social construct created by white men to serve white male priorities.
Actually, the patriarchal family unit is universal across all societies that progress beyond the tribal level of political organization. It's actually quite fascinating how universal...
Shut the f*** up when I am talking. I am a trans being of self-love whose very body is denied space and affirmation by the racist, ableist, proto-fascist dominant structure that wants to commit genocide against non-conventional beauty standard conforming bodies, and particularly those of trans folks, and especially trans folk of color. Any capitalist system that demands conformity of native bodies and spirits to
I'm gonna
systems
head out
that build
now.
functions
Thank
in a
you.
white
Bye.
supremacist machine
Have a nice
designed
day.
to oppress sexual and racial minorities, LGBTQIA2 plus children, and non-conforming.
That's exactly. You could run into somebody like that right now. Right now. But back then, you would walk away from somebody like that. And Mike called the feds. Did somebody escape from the same asylum and just start working at Blockbuster down the street? I just had this angry vampire. This overweight vampire must have been sucking too much blood. Too much blood. But she was dressed in all black like the Omen. Black eyeliner and all that stuff. And start fussing with me about words I don't even know. Words I don't even know. That formative, the patriarchal system, and this and this and that. Nobody want to hear that. That is why I say to myself, nobody wants to hang around crazy, just liberals like that. I'm talking the extreme radical liberals who embrace pretty much any type of nonsense. How could you be around somebody like that? This is what you would be confronted with constantly. All of those things that person in the little skit was dropping out there, these people would be looking at in society for all of these problems. All of these problems. What is that? Did this person, you know what that person's a part of? Did you know you were standing on indigenous ground? I was watching Michael Knowles the other day, and he was on campus ripping some of these kids. And the one girl comes up. I like to start off by letting everybody know that we're all standing on the indigenous grounds of this. And Michael Knowles was like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that in my opening. I mean, this is how crazy things have gotten, man. If that's your kid, I would kick my own kid out the house. If they came home from spring break and they roll up in a crib, Dad, did you check and see if this our house was built on burial ground of the ancient Indian Aztecs? I'd be like, how about this, man? Go back to school. I can't have you here looking over my shoulder, always pointing out all this stuff, using these stupid made up terms. You're crazy. So either I got to keep you here and deprogram you, or send you back and let the craziness have you. So guys, this is what we're dealing with, man, up against, but see, this is minor. This is minor in the bigger scheme of things. It's only a problem because they're trying to mainstream it. They're trying to shove it down everybody's throat. I'm okay with letting you be crazy all by yourself. I'm okay with that. You don't think I ever walked past crazy folks? I mean, I didn't stop and get offended. I saw a dude one time dancing to music in his head, and I'm talking, he was jamming down in Cincinnati. Nobody around, downtown. Getting it too, y'all. No headphones on and everything. Jamming. I'm trying to figure out what beat he was on and everything. I'm like, okay, wait, all right, I don't know. He just switched the beat. Maybe the music's changing in his head. But did I say I'm offended by that? That man right there is crazy. I just said he's crazy. And see, the scary part about people who are crazy is they don't know they're crazy. And that's the scary part. People who tell you they're crazy aren't really crazy. It's people like that guy who actually thinks he's sane. That right there is scary because in his head, that man just declared that everybody else has the problem. Everybody else. He has no idea. And everybody else is looking at him like, did he just say there was no such thing as men and women? Does he know he's crazy? That man's, somebody come get him. But guys, we also got to deal with creepy time. Oh yeah. And you know who holds that title. Yeah, man. Creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy Joe. So we done dealt with some crazy time. Now let's deal with some creepy time. What's going on with creepy these days?
Your husband is 81. At the end of a second term, he'd be 86. As his life partner of 46 years, is there a part of you that is worried about his age and health?
You should be. You should be tackling him. You should be tired of nursing him. You should be tired of following him around, telling him what to say, where to go, all of that stuff. But what does she do? Lie.
Can he do it?
He can do it, and I see Joe every day. I see him out, traveling around this country.
Are you watching the same Joe we're watching? I know we like to pump our family members up and speak highly of them, but there's that point where you got to recognize my kid is sorry. If my son's out there trying to play basketball and he's dribbling with two hands, I'm not going to be like, my kid's sweet, ain't he? Look at him out there. He's flopping all over the place like a fish. He's a go-getter, isn't he? I'm going to be like, my kid sucks. How about come off that court, son, and get in the car? We're leaving. If my kid's out there talking about, Daddy, I want to play some football, and he's hugging himself every time they throw a pass to him, I'm going, son, come over and give me a hug and get in the car. I'm not going to be out there trying to pump my son up. You got to recognize it. If I got a criminal cousin, I'm not going to say he's a saint. I'm going to be like, man, you're my cousin and all, but you're a crook, man. You're a criminal. You're a jailbird. I love you, though. I love you. So now here she is trying to pump up Creepy Sleepy and say, not only he can do it, but I'm around Joe every day. Well, you can't be. You can't be around Joe every day and are honest right now, because I'm not around Joe every day. I see Joe every day on TV, and I'm able to tell he's not going to make it. Going without him, he's not going to make it. But here she is. Because if Joe's not the president, Trump might just go ahead and have a real investigation into us. Yeah, and that would be detrimental to my little nest egg that I've been waiting to cash in on. I knew Joe had an expiration date. I was hoping I can go ahead and remarry after I get rid of the creep and keep all the money. But Trump might get in and ruin it, so I got to prostitute Joe for another 4 years.
I see his vigor. I see his energy. I see his passion every single day.
She's a liar, and I have proof.
Yeah, we need to see this.
These are the numbers that are troubling for the president. Here's one from the New York Times Siena College poll.
Oh.
Is President Biden too old to be an effective president?
Darn too.
All voters, 73% say yes, 25% say no. Here's the troubling part. Even in his own party, the president needs big Democratic turnout in the fall. More than half, 56% of Democrats say they think he's too old.
Strike one.
Just last week, we saw the biggest jump in 30 years in how positive consumers are feeling about the economy. Things are finally beginning to sink in. We passed a lot of really good legislation.
Sink into who? Maybe I ain't get polled for that or something. I'm saying, wait a minute, sink into who? I have not heard one person in real life say, man, the economy's getting better, isn't it? Not one.
We knew it was going to take time for it to begin to take hold, but it's taken hold now and turning the economy around.
Just because you say it is? This is called gaslighting 101. I'm going to tell you this over and over again until you guys just accept it to be true. And make a self-fulfilling prophecy. I guess things are getting better, I think, maybe, perhaps.
The problems are deeper for the president. Again, he is the incumbent president. 24% of Americans say the country's on the right track. 2/3.
That's it?
2/3 say it is not. 65% say the country is on the wrong track as the president prepares to deliver his State of the Union address.
So look.
Oh, they gonna let that man come up and deliver that State of the Union address this Thursday? I might have to live stream that one, y'all. I wonder what type of horse injections they're gonna give Biden to get him through that one. They're gonna probably bring in an adrenaline shot on the back of a truck. Okay, all right, stay still, creepy. All right, they're ready. 8 people have to push it into him. So, yeah, that's going to be a treat. I tell you. But they're still going to go through with it. But wait, here's Black Gay Drop. Don't worry. She's covering for him.
Look, I want to take a step back for just a moment as we look at 24, and we're in 24, but just a step back. This president has done more in 3 years than any other president has done in 2 terms. And that
you are right about that. That man has destroyed more of our country faster than any president I could think of in the history of our country. Talk about something. He's done more in 3 years than any other president. I'm like, what? What did he do? I mean, this is crazy how they just get out there and say this stuff. And I'm thinking, what? Could you give me some examples? But hey, that's her job. She's the person that is going to tell you her kids out there dribbling. Look at him. He has great ball control. I mean, look how he shoots. He's great, isn't he? No. Everybody else is going, your kid sucks. How about you get him off the court? I can't even believe the coach let him out there. he should be wiping the floor and getting the balls together and throwing them out there to everybody else. But here she is trying to make Joe. She's shining up that turd.
That is important.
One more. Incumbents are often judged by their approval rating. You start to get 8 months out from an election, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's the number the president has to change. 36% approve of his performance right now in office, 61% disapprove. That means a lot of Democrats.
But here's my point.
Now y'all ready for some full-blown propaganda jiu-jitsu from this slick-talking weasel dang on Gavin Newsom? Listen how he flips this, y'all. He's going to find a positive spin on Creepy's age and his I guess, deterioration mentally.
Because of his age that he's been so successful.
Well, how you like that? It's that simple. Man, this dude, man, is one of the... Now, see, here's the scary part about this. A bubblehead wouldn't catch that. We're like, what did he just say? That man's a 100% slime ball. See, actually, it's because I slap you around. This shows I love you. Okay? Now, you might be looking at it as abuse. You might be looking at it as I disrespect you. But it's because I love you. And that is why I slap you. See? Y'all get it? So now it's because Creepy Sleepy's age is what makes him effective.
So the opportunity to express that for 4 more years, what a gift.
That man might not be alive in 4 years. I saw him walking down at that border, man. And I'm telling you, he probably was looking down for the grave. Like, I don't want to put one foot into the grave. Every step I take might go right into the grave. That guy, you're telling me, another 4 years. What state do you think he would be in mentally if he does live another 4 years? I mean, it would be, I'm telling you, they would roll him out in the chair. Full-blown drooling at the mouth. With the obvious person under there with the chin. Oh, everybody. Joe Biden. We can see your hand. Person up under the blanket in the wheelchair. Arm on his jaw. Can they see me? So it would be horrible. I mean, do they really believe this man is going to be able to perform the next 4 years? Think about this. 4 years ago, when he was campaigning, this is when we caught a glimpse of, you know what? I love kids jumping on my lap. Now, that was 4 years ago. Look at how much he's declined since then. And this guy's talking about we need another 4 years of that. He'll never make it.
It is for the American people. And as a Democrat, what a gift for me to make the case for the leader of our party, Joe Biden.
Boy, that guy's a liar. So we better go ahead and check all of their work. That's we better check. Because maybe Jill needs to see these clips right here.
Keep America safe in the 21st century.
Are you talking to me? Joe is over here reading a magazine. The Art of Sniffing Hair. The latest ice cream that's on the market. What? You say something? So they're asking Joe questions. And he got his nose buried into the whatever thing. Trying to memorize maybe some lines they done wrote for him or something.
Thanks.
Am I allowed to touch the mic? Probably looking over at Jill. Joe, no, don't touch that mic. Okay, wait, I'm going to do it.
I better not start the questions. I'll get in trouble.
I better not start the questions. I'll get in trouble. All of them. All of them right now is going, God, we just tried to clean up the debacle where you came out to the mic talking about, you think I forgot my son's death? How dare you? How dare you? He died some time ago. And somebody gave me something from the Little Mary's. There you go. And now here he comes out here. And I guess he's showing us that he's assertive. He's in control. But yet he comes out and makes this confession. So that must mean these Freudian slips are a result of them telling him not to take questions. But see, he don't realize that you're not supposed to say that out loud. They're probably saying, Joe, don't take no questions. You got that? But also, don't tell them we keep telling you not to take questions. Got it? And go straight out there. I better not take questions, but get in trouble. They told me to call on so and so on. Told me not to. Just straight up blurting it out. So this is the guy that Gavin Newsom was talking about because of his age.
What's your message for Super Tuesday voters? Everyone,
look at it.
Super Tuesday, sir. Do you have a message for voters?
Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Look, scared. That was scary. Springtime. Look. That guy right there, thank you so much. I got about 2 or 3 more coming. I hate to say it, but woo, rapid fire. There you go. Now y'all gonna be sneezing. Yeah, I'm gonna hit y'all with the Whoopi Goldberg. Whatever's done to me. Oh boy. Well. Okay, that's the last one, I promise. Oh, somebody go get me an allergy pill. Right now. Oh. Maybe I need some water. It might be Gizmo. Okay. Ah, boy. Okay, yeah, a little sneeze fest going on. Versus a snooze fest. Listen to this.
Coming days, we're going to join with our friends in Jordan and others in providing airdrops of additional food and supplies into Ukraine.
Where? Did y'all hear that? The man, somebody said, dang, dude. Hey, I've been sneezing like that for like a week now. Because whenever the weather changes, my allergies kick in badly. And unfortunately, I'm too stubborn to go get allergy pills right now. So, in my mind, I'm like, I could tough it out. I could fight the sneeze. But when it comes, man, it's greater. It's greater than you. All it takes is one. And it opens up the floodgates. It's like the crazies. Opens up the floodgates for all the rest of the sneezes. They're like, come on, we're in. So anyway, let's get back to Joe. So did y'all hear what Joe just said? The man who is in control and in command and the one who's, got all his faculties together. He just said that they're going to start dropping all types of resources into Ukraine. However, look at this.
The president said we were airdropping to Ukraine twice. He meant Gaza, correct? He just misspoke.
Oh.
He was referring to Gaza.
That man looked like, I can't believe I got it. I knew they were going to ask me this. I mean, when it rolled off of Joe's tongue, now I got to sit back and just answer this question and keep on acting like it's just calm. All right, he was referring to Gaza as he's fixing his papers. Because he don't want them to start saying, well, wait a minute. Didn't y'all just say he's very capable and he's not declining mentally and all that stuff? But he keeps mixing up places. And here comes Blackgate Drop to the rescue.
The president took 94 or so executive actions in his first 100 days that largely loosened immigration policy. One of those was narrowing who ICE could remove. And the administration, as of yesterday, I believe, is now calling on sanctuary cities to cooperate with ICE. So why doesn't the president act like he said it's time to do and start undoing some of those policies that he put in place right when he got into office?
Because they won't let me. There it is. That's why he's not doing it. Yeah, whoever controls Joe, whoever concocted this diabolical plan to break our border on purpose and allow all these people to come in, they can't afford to come out there and retract that by openly condemning sanctuary cities, by blaming sanctuary cities, because if they blame the sanctuary city for, anybody getting harmed, then they have to blame themselves. They support sanctuary cities. So that's why he's not going to do it. Okay? But here, listen to this answer. Y'all ready for this one?
So I think a couple of things.
No, you don't. You don't think nothing.
Since day one, the president took action. He did.
Yeah. By getting rid of all of Donald Trump's policies that was working. Yeah, he did. And he broke the border. Day one.
He put forth a comprehensive immigration policy.
What? That you knew nobody would vote for? Because it allowed your precious illegal immigrants to come in and remain here, have a great time, set up shop. suck up all our resources, bring whatever baggage they are bringing from their country. Yeah, so that's what you're talking about. But she's going to go ahead and try to flip it like Gavin Newsom just did.
And he did that because he understood what was happening, right?
Yeah, he did. He understood that the border was, for the first time in years, secure. And I got to undo that. That was a part of my contract. We'll make you president, Joe, but you got to break the border. I'm on it. Hey, he knew what was happening.
He understood that the immigration system was broken. He understood that we needed to take action, and he did.
How exactly would you detain immigrants, if at all, in the Biden administration?
The way we did when we reformed the system with the DACA, I would not retain them behind bars.
What? So this is what she's talking about? This is him taking action? See, I'm glad we got all of these clips, y'all, to show who's really responsible for that border. Because you know what's going to happen on Thursday, right? Yeah, we put forth the most comprehensive border patrol legislation, and the Republicans wouldn't take it up, and they're the ones that's responsible for the border being broke. So glad we got these receipts right here. Wow. So let me get this straight. Back then, he was saying we ain't gonna put nobody behind bars. How do you retain somebody without bars? See, that's my question. So what message is that sending to all the people from South America and around the world? I'm not going to retain anybody behind bars, but what?
They show up.
They show
No,
up.
here's what they do. They show up. Sometimes you have an ankle bracelet, you set a hearing. Nobody.
Ankle bracelet instead of hearing. I mean, how many? You think they got 10 million ankle bracelets to put on all of these people? Because right now we're rocking about 10 million that we know of. It's not including the 2 million that got away. And by the way, anybody find those 85,000 missing kids? Anybody? No? Okay, so I'm pretty sure we ran out of ankle bracelets to ensure that all these illegal immigrants that you done let in 3 years, are going to show up for their court date. But listen to the requirements to stay here. See, because only way you're going to get deported is this.
And some of you are going to get mad at me with this, but nobody is going to be deported in my first 100 days. And
Underlay through the border, man. Search the border. You hear creepy? He said we're not going to get deported the first 100 days. We're on our way, creepy.
Nobody's going to get deported the first 100 days.
Until we get through the point that we find out the only rationale for deportation will be whether or not you've committed a felony while in the country.
Now, do you hear that bull crap? But yet they're going to try to pin this on Republicans. So let me get this straight. We want you in the country first before we determine whether you get deported or not. And that only is based on whether you commit a felony while you're here. That's the only way. Now, he didn't say the only way we're going to deport somebody is if they come to our border and give us a fake asylum claim that we have pretty much given them the excuse to give by changing all of those requirements for that. He didn't say only way you're going to get deported is if you show up and you done walk through 3 or 4 other countries knowing you could have applied for asylum there, but you decided to get to our border, so therefore, bye. See, he's not talking about that. He said, get them into the country. And the only way we're going to deport them is if they commit a felony while here. Now, there's a whole heap of felonies that I could think of. Now, first of all, you know he's lying. Because do you realize how many of these people done committed felonies? By the time you commit the felony, somebody probably is hurt or there's an American victim. And now all of a sudden, what do you do then? No need to deport them. Yeah, you're doing them a favor at that point. Now you either got to keep them in jail, make them pay the price for the crime they committed against American citizens, or you send them back home and let them go free back there. It's too late to deport them once they commit a felony. I tell you, Democrats are the most backward behind, corrupt, evil, stinking people. They need to play that real. When he is up there on Thursday, I know he's going to do it. I know he's going to do it. They need to go ahead and have a bullhorn set up while he's speaking. Beep. Attention, everybody. What's that? Yeah, we want to go ahead and play a reel of Creepy talking about nobody's going to get arrested. Only way you get deported is if you commit a felony. What happens if that felony is murder? I mean, it ain't just one. You know what? I committed a felony. I had a car accident and I ran and fled from the scene, or I was caught with a weapon. No, these are serious felonies, and by the time some of these felonies are committed, it's too late.
On day one, I'm going to send immigration legislation reform to the Congress to provide a roadmap to citizenship for 11 million undocumented immigrants.
11 million. Oh, man. This kills me. Makes me want to throw up on the inside and out. I'm talking a double dose of vomit. Both. This fool want to make a pathway to citizenship. 11 million people that know they shouldn't even be here. Except for you and Mucus invited them. This is unbelievable.
And so much that make up so much of our communities and make us so strong.
I bet you the people in Chicago don't feel that way. People in New York don't feel that way. Common sense people don't feel that way. But you got to lie to us to convince us that this makes sense. Yeah, they make us strong. Then if that is the case, let them all show up at your crib. Let them hang out at the White House. They make you strong, Joe. Yeah, do that. Man, these people are worse. I hope they get the business. And not only get the business, I hope Trump comes in and clears out all 11 million of them or so. Unbelievable. So now let's get to the clown part of the show. We done had crazy. We done had creepy. Now we got the clowns. Send in the clowns. Send in the clowns. And when I say the clowns, you know who I'm talking about. Starting off with the main clown.
If you are Trump and only...
Look at that clown. Boy, that round face with all that makeup on. With that big fat Donald Trump wig on. Talking about Trump. Now listen to this. Y'all ready for this? She's about to make up all kind of stuff because see, their back's up against the wall. All of their propaganda, all of their gaslighting, all of their manipulation and lying seems to be falling apart. So now watch this right here come out of this woman's mouth. Boy, I tell you, she never ceases to amaze me. She's one of the worst.
You are Donald Trump. The feds will beg you for 18 months to please give them back the nuclear secrets that you're hiding in your bathroom.
What nuclear secrets did they find? Has it ever been confirmed that Trump took nuclear secrets? What nuclear secrets could you be talking about? What did you think Trump was going to do if he did have nuclear secrets? Don't the codes change constantly? What would be the purpose of taking nuclear secrets home? But you're just going to say that and talk about, you know what, begging you to get the stuff back for 18. You mean negotiating and pretending that it's okay, don't worry, we'll come to some agreement at some point, and then act like, oh, this guy, man, he's not cooperating. But let's finish, because see, the propaganda is just getting started.
Instead of kicking down your door and taking them like they would any other American.
Yeah, you mean like Joe Biden? Let him know, yeah, we're coming. Yeah, they should have kicked that man's door down a long time ago because he had them stored for like 20, 30 years. Not to mention, they should have threw him in cuffs considering he somehow smuggled out classified documents out of the skiff when he was a senator. Maybe he shoved them up his big nose. So, why didn't they bust that man's door down? If I was the feds, I would have drop kicked through his door both feet. Okay, if you could use the battering ram, yeah, I could do that. Or I could go big time wrestling. Both feet right through the door. But no, he didn't get that treatment. She wanted that to happen to Trump.
And then when you do get charged by that same special prosecutor, somehow the random system will put you in front of your favorite handpicked judge.
You mean like in front of Mayor Garlick, who made sure that Creepy didn't get prosecuted because apparently he's not mentally sound enough to stand trial. Wow, isn't it funny how she's not even aware that what she's describing is Joe Biden? Yeah, but let's continue though. Here we go.
Who will slow walk the case for you. And no less a court than the Supreme Court of the whole United States, filled with 3 more of your handpicked judges, plus 3 other Republicans will slow walk all of your cases.
Wait a minute. There's 9, right? There's 9 on the Supreme Court, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you just talking about 6? You talk why you only talking about 6, clown face? Why are you only talking about 6, applehead? What about the other 3? Oh, I get it. I get it. See, you don't want to lump them in with the conservatives because you got to protect the fact that they're the liberal judges, but yet those liberal judges voted with the conservative Supreme Court justices. So why aren't they lumped into that, huh? Yeah.
To make sure that they don't happen until after the election, that they clearly hope will make you president again so you can pardon yourself and get away with everything. And tens of millions of Americans will not just cheer for these awful things. They too will try to make you president again so you can kill another million people in a pandemic and...
What? You know what's crazy about their monologues on the fake news? They're so forced, so fake. I mean, the acting is horrible, trying to make it seem sincere, trying to make it be impacting, and all it ends up being is nonsense and hilarious to watch. That's why it's called The Clown Show. There it is. Yeah, she's supposed to be funny, but she's not. So here she is, kill another million. When did that happen? Trump was like only the president for a couple months when the pandemic started. So what are you talking about? Killed a couple million, just making stuff up. And what else? Here's some more made up facts.
Crash the economy and steal my...
Crash the economy. Like all of your friends who wanted to shut down every liberal city in the country, wanted to make sure y'all put everybody on lockdown unnecessarily for God knows how long. I think it was Trump that said, what are y'all talking about? I gave y'all 2 weeks and now y'all are talking about we need to shut down the economy. What do you mean we're closing schools? You can't keep the kids out of schools. I think it was Trump that was trying to get the economy back up and running. Whereas your people knew it would damage him. So y'all all colluded to shut down and suppress all of y'all people and force a vaccination on people. But here you're talking about and shut down the burn and destroy the economy. What else?
Migrant babies from their moms again?
Oh my God. And rip migrant babies. They're going back to that. From their moms again? You think she looks like a clown right there. Right there. With bad makeup. You're not a funny clown, you're a scary clown. Your makeup looks horrible. You come out, and all the kids start screaming and running. There you go, it looked like it. But here she is up there. Again? I mean, so obvious that she's full of crap. So wait, you're not going to bring up those 85,000 kids that are missing under Biden's watch? You're not going to bring up those couple thousand kids that were sent with human traffickers under Obama? You're not going to bring up those cages that were built under Obama and him ripping those babies it's only ripping babies from their parents when it's Trump. But when it's your folks, those aren't cages. Nah, they're little teeny houses with barbed wire or whatever around them and stuff like that. Unreal, man. So let's continue because the clown show is rolling on. Look at her.
What a country for Donald Trump.
Oh, shite.
No,
Bullshit. That's what that is. That's what that was right there, man. Boy, I tell you, MSNBC is the bottom of the barrel. But CNN, whoa, it's a tie. I don't know, y'all. They're running neck and neck. I wish they could both lose. So wait, look at this. Now look at Dana. Dana gonna bring up some stuff right here. And gonna try to go ahead. Now watch her little dirty tactic. Watch what she try to do. But see, she's dealing with a pro. She's dealing with a class act right next to her that's gonna call this mess out.
You're concerned that he's going to win, which is why you're bringing up 2016 things, because you have nothing to bring up. That's what I think you're concerned. And you should be.
Yeah. See, that's what they always do, just like Big Face just did. That clown. Yeah, talking about some the ripping babies from and the pandemic and all of this stuff. So now Dana tries to slide in some old stuff that the Democrats tried to pull back during the 2016 election. When mysteriously 15 women, y'all, mysteriously just came out of nowhere. Just came out of nowhere. Yeah, surprisingly. So you remember that? Y'all remember that? Yeah, it was right after the Hollywood Access tape. And when Trump was addressing it during the debate with Crooked, Anderson Pooper kept asking him a particular question. And I was wondering why you keep asking that, Pooper. And so you're saying that you never did any of those things that you mentioned on that access tape? Well, and Trump went on to explain some other things. Are you saying that you never did any of those things that you mentioned on that Hollywood access tape? Finally, Trump was like, no, I didn't. Thank you. Let's move on. Now, soon as he did that, my thought was, why does Anderson Cooper want to get a confession out of Trump? Why wouldn't he just move on? No matter what Trump was saying, it meant nothing to him. He wanted to pin him down with saying, I never did those things that you heard on the tape. And then the next morning, like at 9 a.m., 15 women shows up at a press conference in New York. Cameras. We're all here to say Trump did all those things that he said he didn't do on the Hollywood access tape to us. 15 of y'all. Nothing suspicious there. Yeah. Big coinky dink. They all just showed up in New York at the right time and meandered right into a press conference at the right time where all the Democrats are sitting there. They're rubbing their backs. It's okay. It's okay. And we're supposed to not recognize that as a hit piece. They had those women, and they probably was in hotels that night waiting. All right, girls, we're on tomorrow. Let's go over our lines again, okay? Everybody know? It's unreal. So she's bringing this up, and then watch when she gets done to her. She's going to get a black eye.
Concerned. He's leading in the polls. Okay. I'm a journalist. I am not concerned about anything. Is it your position?
Look at you. Okay, I'm not a journalist. I'm not concerned about anything. Yes, you are. Because, see, if you weren't concerned about anything, you wouldn't dedicate 24 hours, 365 days of negative dang on press about Trump. You're trying to stop him. You're worried that he's going to win. Or you wouldn't be covering him so negatively. And you're talking about, I'm a journalist. No, you're a propagandist. I'm not concerned about anything.
All of the witnesses in this trial who testified on behalf of E. Jean Carroll, those who were contemporaneous, those who said that she told her friends about it real time, and others who said that they also have had experiences with Donald Trump assaulting them.
You mean like they did with Brett Kavanaugh? Blase Ford,
I was so scared. Can I have a drink of water? So anyway, but I can't remember how I got to the house, how I got home. No one else remembers me being at the house, all of that.
And then others come out, yeah, he was a gang rapist. Democrats, over the top. You go from one accusation to 15 women? Yeah, that's believable.
Is it your belief that they're all not telling the truth? They're all lying?
We are here to deal with the case against Miss Carroll, and you're talking to me as if he was convicted of rape, which he wasn't. He was actually cleared of it. So
yeah, call out her motive. Thank you. Because see, that's the goal. She wants to go ahead and project that image into the mind of her audience. She's not talking about it like I really want to know. What she's doing is she is prosecuting Trump right here on CNN by, just inferring that Trump is guilty. Just like they all inferred that he committed an insurrection. But they won't give you the details. Yeah, they won't talk about he never been accused or tried for it. They don't do that. They just keep saying it. The tone of their voice lets you know. Here you go.
No, I'm not talking on it, and that's not what I was. I'm not talking to you about as if he wasn't convicted of anything. This was a civil trial.
Then why are you bringing this up? Why are you bringing up the 15 people from 2016? See, what happens is when you expose their motive and call them out, then they gotta, she called me out. I thought, no, that's why I wasn't doing that. I wasn't doing that. And it's obvious that she was doing it. Let's continue.
And
look how she looking. Look how this beautiful woman is looking at her like, I love that look. That look right there tells it all. This is how I have to look at CNN and MSNBC every time I watch this mess to put this together for y'all. I'm sitting here like this. Come on, man. Come on, man. But hey, here you go. Let's see if she can sell us on this.
This was specifically about sexual assault today and defamation. Before I let you go.
That's right. It was money.
But
Thank you. That's right. It was money. There it is. Because it surely wasn't about sexual assault and her getting vindication for it. Nope. Because remember, y'all, we're going to do all types of great things with this money, Rachel. We're going to get motorcycles. We're going to... That right there, the damaged woman. The woman who been sitting back, marinating and holding all this in, y'all, for like 30, 40 years. All of a sudden, man, she get that 80-something million dollars and all of a sudden she's all jovial. Oh, we're going to go ahead and fight for women's rights. And I'm going, she don't seem too damaged to me. But hey, here we go.
Jury also found him liable for sexual assault and also for defaming her. You
hear that? See, just bringing up the negative stuff. But no, I'm just a journalist. That's going to try to use a bootleg indictment, a bootleg trial, and a bootleg conviction to project this into the minds of our raggedy audience that Donald Trump is guilty of sexual assault and he was convicted by a garbage jury, but yet you never want to bring up Tara Reid. I wonder why. Why didn't y'all cover that diary of Joe Biden's daughter talking about how he used to take showers with her and made her feel uncomfortable and damaged her? Why don't y'all talk about that? See? But yet, look, he was convicted by
have said that you are going to appeal this case. What specifically do you plan to appeal?
Y'all hear that? Now she want to get her out there trying to defend the sexual assaulter and all of that stuff. Yeah, let's get you on record trying to explain why you want to defend this creep. But watch what she does.
I think you have to understand something. Only in the state of New York could you be found not guilty of rape, but then you defamed someone when you said you didn't rape them.
Ooh.
That in itself just doesn't make sense, right? So we have...
You see her beating up the clown? Boy, the clown thought she had her. Yeah. So, yeah, only in New York. What did you expect would happen up there? That's why they want these trials up there. Democrat ran state, and they're making sure they bend and contort all of the laws. Yeah, so they can stick it to Trump, and you think we don't recognize that. You think in any other state that crazy chick would have been awarded that money? Soon as she got on TV with Anderson Cooper talking about most women think that the R word is sexy. That case would have been thrown so far out, they had to make provisions just to be allowing the crazy lady to bring charges on Trump. And she's called the clown out.
We have a law that was put in place that has a 1-year opening for anybody and everybody, and probably Eugene Harris specifically, to bring a claim against Donald Trump. So we're going to appeal a lot of things: the constitutionality, the jury that
the clown's thinking
failed to find a rape verdict, but then somehow said he was defaming her when he said he didn't do it, and she's not my type. All of a sudden, that is a crime in this country. That is sick. It
is sick. Boy, did she slap that clown around. The clown got slapped around. So, yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. So, wait. I'm not accused of rape. And yet I'm found guilty of sexual assault. But I'm telling you, I never touched this woman, and she's crazy. Well, I'm not allowed to say that? So I'm not found guilty of rape. But if I say I never did it, and she's crazy, then now I'm the one that got to pay her all of this. Now, what kind of twisted justice system does... a Democrat ran, politically charged, manipulated justice system. That's what does that. And she think we don't know it. Let's get finished with the clown, because the clown gonna fight back. The clown right now done put on her shoes, wake up, wake up, wake up, put that big red nose on. And now look at her last ditch effort.
My final question to you is, I mentioned that there are 15 women altogether who have alleged that Trump sexually harassed or assaulted them.
Yeah, let's bring that up because, see, obviously all 15 of these women are legit. They're not Democrat operatives. Nah, they're all legit. So now, do you understand? For Trump to be that promiscuous, this bold in his efforts to interact with all, but yet all of this was just hidden until 2016 when he was running against the Democrats. He must have put in a lot of work of acting a fool if you got 15 women, but all 15 of them kept it quiet all the way up until he was running against the Democrats. That's crazy, ain't it? That's crazy. I'm scratching my dome. Yeah, it all came out right when he was running against the Democrats. No, this is their number one go-to. Find women who they could drag out and try to destroy a man's reputation with accusations of sexual assault, knowing that it's a sensitive topic. And if you deny it, then you're blaming the victim, you're insensitive, and this and this and that. Knowing that you can sway public opinion, but not when it comes down to Joe. Not when it comes down to Joe. They swept that mess right up under the rug, didn't they?
Are you concerned that
Are we talking about 2016? Hold on.
Are you concerned? I have not all told.
Watch. She don't want to address that. She don't want to address it. Watch the clown try to just act like she didn't hear that question.
Women, all told. Not that you've gotten complaints that have become public. Are you concerned that this
since 20? Are you talking about 2016? Is that
are
the
you
best
concerned in that?
Look, she's straight up ignoring it. Are you concerned that these women are these other women gonna come out and then they're gonna do it Eugene Carroll? What she's trying to do is say that, yeah, hopefully we can drag all these other people in too and get more money off of Trump. Yeah, we get more money off of him with these crazy accusations.
Are you concerned that the case that we saw today, that it is maybe just the beginning, that other criminal action could be in the future?
No.
Yeah, that's her hinting that, yeah, we want that to happen. We want more criminal action. The more the merrier. Bring all 15 in so we can go ahead and get convictions up there in raggedy New York somewhere.
I'm talking about
20? Give me a year. These 15 women. Are we talking about 2016 when he was running and almost won and then did win?
It is not relevant.
Y'all see the clown? It's first of all, she ignored that question the whole time. Yeah, she was ignoring it because she know it would just totally reveal her motive for bringing this up. So you think we all are still saying that those 15 women have been legit? Now understand, guys, we ain't heard nothing about those 15 women up until this woman has been bringing it up now. All of a sudden. Because it's election season. There you go. So now all of a sudden, let's bring up all the stuff. All of them quiet. Ain't been hearing nothing about it, but now she want to bring this back up. Are you concerned that everything, throw it all on the wall and hope that something sticks? Now you can start. So she finally got her to confess that, yeah, she's talking about those 15 women that the Democrats went and drug out right after the debate. She's talking about them. And she didn't want to make that confession. So what did she do? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yes, it does. Because we all know what those women were for. We all know what they were about. We all know who concoctioned that whole crap.
What you're talking about.
It is relevant.
No,
you
it's
just
not.
asked me about 15 women.
No,
I don't
it's
have
not.
15 women that have come forth with a claim.
Okay.
Where are they? I don't have
Where are
them.
they? Get these clowns out of there. Another clown down. That's another clown down, y'all. Oh, but we got 2 clowns left. Watch them try to say that they're covering Donald Trump by suppressing him, y'all. By fact checking in real time. Now, they don't like the fact that Trump has been knocking them out when it comes down to all of these cases. The Supreme Court, and he's beating up on Nasty Nikki. They don't like that, y'all. They don't like that. And when Trump has an accomplishment, they got to pretend to cover it while not covering it, while sitting back throwing negativity on it, by not letting their audience hear what Trump got to say. So listen to these false efforts, these fake efforts to try to pretend like we're covering the president while they are undermining everything that he's saying.
Be free. A president has to be, if the president does a good job.
Go right, Trump.
Some people would say a great job.
Okay.
What?
The White House has not had any coordination with the DOJ on the prosecutions regarding Donald Trump. This is totally.
Wait a minute. I was trying to listen to that. MSNBC. They barely let him get a word out of his mouth. Now, do you understand? This is straight 1984 style propaganda right there. The man just started speaking. Okay. All the condensation in her voices. And okay. First of all, so you're fact checking him as he's talking? That's crazy. The White House never coordinated. Yes, they did. We all know that the White House coordinated with the DOJ because the New York Times reported that Biden was upset that Garlic was not prosecuting Trump fast enough. Now, was the New York Times making it up? But here she is, so-called fact-checking it real time.
It's separate. It's a special counsel. The special counsel decided to bring charges. In terms of the Fonnie Willis stuff, I believe that Nathan Wade testified he was making more money.
Why are you defending them? Why are you defending Fat Fanny, huh? Every narrative, every false claim, every, diabolical scheme to stop Trump, this woman is playing the role of a dang on defendant. Yeah, I got to defend the Democrats and all their corruption, all of their diabolical efforts to stop Trump. I got to defend it, even if everybody knows that this is true. So now here she is. And in regards to Fat Fanny.
Money before he started to work for Fonnie Willis down there.
So he was making more money. So what? Does that mean he didn't lie? Does that mean she didn't pay him almost $1 million? And you got to understand, if he was making more money, but the question is, was that stretched out? Or was he going to make that condensed lump sum of money for a short period of time? Man, if I'm sitting back saying, wait, so you could pay me probably over. Now imagine if they didn't get busted. Could you imagine the bill that they would have raked up if they wouldn't have got busted? She got busted at like $700,000. Imagine if nobody would have found out. By the time that trial would have been over, that dude probably would have cashed in on about $2 or $3 million. Easily. But now they can't do that. See, but here she is. He was making more money. Maybe, what, if you average it out over the next 10 years, but yet you got to put in that time. See, versus, man, you telling me I can make like $2 million in 2 years? I'll put that little paycheck aside. Give me the money. Show me the money. But here she is defending it.
There. Let's go back to Gary. Come out with a prepared statement. Why this? Why going back to the battle days of Trump, where he just comes out with a word salad and whatever comes to mind.
There it is. I detect all that sarcasm. He comes out with a word salad. You never say that when Kamala Harris comes out with word salads. She's a salad queen. She's always tossing salad. Okay, she's always tossing salad. That's a pun. Yeah, but she comes out all the time, and she never gets any of this that word salad. Joe Biden rambles all over the place. He's bathing in the salad, backstroking in salad, but yet she's never talking about that word salad.
And whatever allegation he can toss out.
That's a great question, Katie, and one that I'll be trying to answer today. Donald Trump has displayed more discipline over the course of this campaign than some of his previous ones in these moments. Not really what you saw here today. Clearly not a prepared statement. Clearly not especially focused on the ruling today. But I think goes to the point that he sort of looks at all of these cases holistically, and he tries to argue that they're all related. He's trying to make the case that somehow this is all coordinated by the White House.
And you're trying to stop that. You're trying to silence him because you know it is. And you guys are part of it. See, that's the funny part about it. He's trying to lump all of it. It's all connected. We know that the White House coordinated with all four of these raggedy prosecutors. We know that the DOJ is behind all of this garbage crap. We already know it. And here you are. Your job is to diffuse it and make Trump seem crazy. Make him seem like he's coming out with all these wild, crazy accusations that he's always right about. Isn't that crazy? Remember, y'all said it was a wild accusation that his wires was tapped. And he was right. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So here he is, once again, trying to protect the deep state, trying to protect the Democrats, and trying to make Trump look like he's crazy. And they're saving their people from listening to all of his propaganda and lies.
House to go after him and taking advantage of the fact that he's going to have a lot of eyeballs on him because of the Colorado ruling today. But this is it, right? I think you heard there one of the things that I think was most clear was related to the point that Ken made earlier, this idea that arguing that he shouldn't be prosecuted for things. He didn't mention any of the things related to January 6th. He was making a case that he shouldn't be prosecuted for going after ISIS or General Soleimani, the Iranian general who he killed when he was president. Those are not the things that he is being prosecuted for. So
yeah, because the thing that he's being prosecuted for is stupid and made up. It didn't happen. See, it's political prosecution. That's what it is. So yeah, this guy right here is trying to sell us on something. What Trump was making is an example of, look, if this is the case, then y'all are going to prosecute me over this right here, which y'all shouldn't be prosecuting me on. What about all these other things that other presidents did? Can't they be brought up on charges as well? you would have to prosecute them for all of this stuff. But he wants to make it appear that Trump is off on a tangent. He never even addressed the bootleg fake prosecution, and we wouldn't know if he addressed it or not because y'all didn't let us hear him. And guess what? Another network.
Trying to project out a little bit of, protection for himself rhetorically as these cases advance, and trying to draw people into the idea that somehow all of these things are part of a massive conspiracy to stop.
You don't have to draw us in. We already know it. We already know it. See, we already know you guys pulled up in a little teeny car and start getting out by the dozens because you're all clowns. And look at this one.
Okay, we've been listening to Donald Trump, and we're going to continue to monitor.
No, we haven't. I barely heard a word he said. You guys interrupted. Hello, everyone. Thanks for. Okay, we've been listening to Donald Trump. Then just speak over him because we don't want to hear what he got to say.
As he takes questions from reporters there in Mar-a-Lago, we have been hearing him first and foremost talk about the fact that he is obviously very pleased about the Supreme Court decision to keep him on the ballot or prevent Colorado from taking him off the ballot, and therefore other states as well, because of the actions that he was involved with in and around January 6th. Then he veered.
What actions again? I'm sorry. We don't want to talk about that. Oh, I'm sorry. He inspired an insurrection. He masterfully put together an insurrection without letting anybody know about it. See, so now all of a sudden here she is just going to interrupt him and insert her own narrative and undermine him.
Into lots of other areas where we definitely have to fact check. Daniel, I want to.
We definitely have to fact check. Do they fact check Joe Biden real time? That's my question. Do they fact check him real time? Do you understand how obviously corrupt these networks are? I mean, we really got to do something about the media in our country. We don't have one. I mean, that's why they're fighting so hard to stop independent media like myself and others. They got to shut us down because this is what they're giving out. Do you understand this? We have to fact check him. These are straight mockingbird media people. These folks, man, work straight for the deep state. So you got to fact check him on every word he says. The leading candidate who's knocking it out the park, who's winning all of these stupid cases, who's eluding all of your traps that you done set, who've exposed all of your diabolical schemes time after time, who done got through all of these traps, and y'all still are trying to say, he lies all the time, we got to fact check him because he's dangerous to us and to our audience. Because see, if our audience hears him, they might realize he's not the boogeyman that we portrayed him to be.
First, just say the last thing he was talking about, immigration, which of course has nothing to do with the Supreme Court decision today. He said,
"Yeah, so he's not allowed to talk about immigration. That's what you're telling me. So we're going to keep him to a script. We only allow him to talk about the Supreme Court justice thing. Why not let him talk about all the issues that he's addressing as the president? Because you don't want him to highlight how raggedy of a job Joe Biden has done and all of the problems that this man has brought upon the country. So if Trump gets up there and highlight immigration, the economy, how Joe did this and that, it hurts your champion that y'all drug across the finish line the first time.
A number of things that I hope that you get into, one of which was 20 million people he believes are in this country. We don't have any evidence to back that up.
Do we have evidence to say it's not 20 million? I mean, heck, right about now, we're sitting back saying, anywhere between 10 and 12 million we estimate might be in the country. And yet there's 2 million we can't even keep track of. See, but yeah, here you are. We have no evidence to back that up. So now you need facts, you need evidence, you need all of that. But when it comes down to Trump, you don't need none of that. None of that. Just he's a white nationalist, he's a racist, he's a xenophobe, he's a whatever.
And going on about the need for the president to use his executive authorities to, quote unquote, close the border. There is an antiquated immigration system, Congress in a bipartisan way in the U.S.
Look at her. Look at the clown out here just shielding for the Democrats. It is so obvious that they are owned by the Democrat Party. So now here she is, even though he said, which is true, Biden, after removing all of Trump's executive orders, could just go ahead and, install all of the orders that kept the border safe under Trump. But he can't do that. He won't do it because he's waiting for, a bipartisan agreement and this and that, because it gives him the excuse to leave it broken and blaming it on other people. But here she is bringing that mess up, and she knows it's a garbage bill.
Senate tried to update it at least a little bit, and it was killed because the president did not want to give Joe Biden that political win.
Oh my God. What a clown. Because the president, how do you know that? How do you know he didn't want to give him a political win? Could it be that bill sucked? It has nothing to do with a political win. It was a bad bill. In fact, if you ask conservatives, hey, do you think that was a good bill to pass? No. So wait, it wasn't just because, Trump wants to get away. No, we all support not passing that bill. It sucked. But no, it's just so he don't get a political win.
You say to all those Americans out there watching this, who are
watch Jim Acosta get smacked by Kingpin right here. Here we go.
Who are frustrated and say, Trump is getting away with breaking the law, that he files appeal after appeal. He tries to delay every proceeding that's brought against.
Now look at this. These aren't questions. These are statements. What do you say to all those people out there that feel, what people? What people? You're planting the seed in the people's minds right now, Jim Acosta. As you're sitting there, what do you say about all the people? And I'm going to list off everything I want these people to know. I want to list off everything. That he's doing this, he's doing that, he's evading the law, he's prolonging this and this and that. You think all the people are thinking that way? Until Jim dropped it in their head and pretended it was a question.
Against him in a way that is it just goes against what our judicial system should be about.
Says Jim. See, remember, let me drop all these things out here and then tell everybody it goes against what our judicial system is supposed to be about. You mean like trying to jail Trump? Dropping 4 indictments on him? 2 impeachments? Spying on him? All of that crap? Overlooking all of Joe's crimes? And yet you're talking about what the judicial system is supposed to be all about. So I wonder if Kingpin is going to agree with him.
I mean, just about anybody else would not have the ability to appeal things until kingdom come.
Well, actually, they do have the ability to do that. That's part of our justice system.
Well, for all practical purposes, that doesn't happen. I mean, the vast majority of defendants out there don't have the resources to drag everything out in umpteen different cases across the country.
Jim's mad. Jim is mad because Kingpin didn't back him up. No, actually, we do have that right. It's a part of our process, Jim. You communists, you fascist Marxists, you mockingbird media man. He's mad. Sitting there, but not everybody got the resources to keep appealing to eternity. They're mad because Trump got the resources to outlast their corrupt attacks. That's what it is. It's like, man, I wish he didn't have all that money and all this support. Because, see, we was going to try to hit him with all types of attacks. Tap his money, his reputation, all of this stuff. Yeah, but yet he's able to prolong and stretch it out longer than we expected. So, yeah, Jim's mad. He want Trump to not be able to appeal this. And I'm like, but that's a part of the process. If you got the money to go ahead and appeal it, what's the problem? What's the problem, Jim? Well, you don't like democracy. You don't like our judicial system. And then we're going to close with crazy eyes. Yeah, the one with those bubblegum eyes. You know that I see you. She ain't got those pretty brown eyes. She got those bubblegum eyes. So let's listen to crazy bubblegum eye girl. Oh boy, as we close.
Is disappointment. I do believe that states should be able, under our Constitution, to bar oath-breaking insurrectionists. And ultimately, this decision leaves open the door for Congress to act to pass authorizing legislation. But
she got crazy eyes. Yeah. Can you imagine being on that date with her for the first time? And so when I was 7, I said to myself, I'll be going, what are you looking at? You? Really? Look like you can see everything right about now. You haven't closed those big saucers in about 8 seconds. Wide open. I might reach in and touch one of those eyeballs. That's how big they are. I would be drawn in like, oh man, I gotta touch. That's the biggest eyeball I ever. Is it okay if I touch that, right? Can I touch your eyeball? It's this big. That's one of them. Let's continue.
But we know that Congress is a nearly non-functioning body.
Look how she's talking. We know that Congress is a nearly functioning body. You sound like a robot. That's what you sound like. Man, her facial, she got great isolation going on with her face. Mouth moving, nothing else. We got, then the eyes move. This is crazy. What are you? Let's continue looking at this puppet.
So ultimately, it will be up to the American voters to save our democracy and no.
The clown is scaring me. Look at that. That's not human. What is this? What is this voodoo? This witchcraft? She's crazy. Looks like a horror movie. She can play the nun. Oh, God. Look. She's crazy. She's AI. No wonder. Oh, she's got crazy eyes. There it is. That's the look we've been waiting for. Right there. Yeah. What a clown. Yeah, man. Anyway, somebody said, Kev, it's prime time. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Stop it. You guys are embarrassing me. You know what? Stop it. You're making me blush. Well, there you have it, y'all. We had some crazy time, some creepy time, and some clown time. Boy, I tell you. And they got plenty of clowns, too. I only touched on a couple clowns. Only a touch. Somebody said Nightmare of the Walking Dead. Yeah, she's crazy. She is full-blown crazy. But hey, that's pretty much the MO for the whole Democrat Party anyway. You got to be a little special to even be a part of that party. Either special or crazy or corrupt. One of the, it's like, I'm crazy and corrupt. Some of them are crazy and corrupt. That's the worst combo. Yeah, it's kind of like that guy in the beginning who got the PhD, but yet crazy. But crazy. You don't want to mix those two together. You don't want to mix those two together. It's a perfect storm. So anyway, thanks for listening to me tonight. And sorry for, sneezing on y'all about 8 times. Y'all had to tolerate that. Please forgive me. Yes, I'll go ahead and break down and I guess get an allergy pill tomorrow so I don't be sniffling, because I will be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Share my videos. Hit that like button. Please subscribe to my alternative channel if you have not done that thus far. Don't forget, text MAGA to this number. And if you want to leave something in the charity/fundraising link below, you can do that by clicking on it and doing that. And don't forget, you can check out Kevin's Corner Store and follow me on all the other platforms. All of those links are right down below. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Uh-oh. I said it. See, whenever I say that, he knows. He knows. I'm going to see if I can go ahead and close it out without him coming over here. Yeah. Thank you. You're amazing too. Let's get it, man. Let's bounce, because I'm going straight to sleep. When sleep, be sleep before I hit the pillow. Yeah. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Take care.